Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. We are more and more building up the case that BTC might start dumping down anytime soon, and I already started making videos about it yesterday. What that is, I'm going to show you exactly within a minute, because more and more is coming together that strengthen this case. Also today we have CPI data from the United States, which is going to be pretty important. It usually causes for a lot of volatility. If you like these kinds of updates, then please do me a favor, like and subscribe, click on the bell, click, and also if you don't miss anything, leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I update you multiple times a day. And with that being said, we are right away starting off with Twitter, because yesterday I gave these two trading setups where I said this is a very easy trading setup. We have a rising wedge coming down, reaching the target as the blue line, rising wedge again, the target would be the bottom, and I just updated you again. Look at that beautifully. We just hit the bottom again, so that was two very easy trades. So congratulations if you took it, and yeah, like I said, I just update you sometimes about on Twitter about these kinds of trading setups. If you like this kinds of stuff, then please do me a favor, like and subscribe. Also, yesterday I started making the first video. Be careful with longing BTC, because we might be dumping soon. And what I mean with that is, like I just said, I feel like we're building up the case for us to go lower, because there's now just so much coming together. First of all, we are entering now this support and resistance box that we already drew out for some time. We have there the macro value area high from this macro volume node that is resting here at approximately 23,000. We have the target from this falling wedge, which is also here slightly off 23,000. Then we have the value area low from this volume node, also in that support and resistance box. And you see here maybe a purple line, which is connecting this top, the tops right here, and then would also come in play at approximately $23,000 for Bitcoin. And after so many green days, wouldn't make sense for us to maybe roll over. Doesn't have to happen today, actually. Matter of fact, I think it will happen maybe on Wednesday or on Thursday. I'll also show you in a minute why I think that, but right now there's just so much coming together. We also have these two yellow support and resistance lines, these support and resistance flips that we already drew out some time ago, that all the way came into play here at the beginning of the volume node, and that has just so far been very strong support and resistance all the way through. So for me, if we would get something like a turnaround here, or maybe a wake up and then a turnaround, would make a lot of sense. Matter of fact, I'm also hunting for shorts at this level. If we are zooming out on, zooming in on the 4 hourly, then we're also seeing that yes, the money flow is still coming up. We have these RSIs who are thick together. They usually stay here for, well, now already for quite some time, but we do also have bearish divergences on the 4 hourly. Usually these divergences play out. I have to also, to be honest, saying that if you have traded any of these divergences here on the 1 hourly, then so far all of them have not been working out. Of course, there will be one that will work out, but so far you have not been successful. One thing I do find interesting is that the money flow just keeps on coming down more and more. So I think eventually the price will roll over, and also because everyone is so bullish right now. Everyone is saying, yeah, double bottom, it's in, we're only going high from here. I've said already many times before, I do not believe that the bottom is in at all. I do still think that we have to come down, test these lows right here at 17.6, so 17,600 K. We have retested these lows right here, but not really grabbing that liquidity from the bottom. So maybe like a very big waterfall down, just to grab that liquidity, wipe everyone out, get everything super bearish, and that then slowly becomes the base for a possible bottom, where also I made a video about some time ago. What also strengthened this case is that the S&P, where Bitcoin is usually trading alongside with, is that the S&P is rising, Bitcoin is rising, if it's dumping, is dumping as well, is that we are reaching the golden pocket of this move from the top to the bottom, all the way up. Golden pocket at approximately 4,165, and that is then a very important support and resistance flip, and like I said, then a golden pocket. So it would be a very nice confluence to reach that and then go lower. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is that the DXY, the dollar index, doesn't show any signs of reversing soon, and Bitcoin is usually pumping when this is dumping, and the other way around. So actually I would not be surprised if this goes lower. If that happens, I do think that Bitcoin is going higher. Then we might really be reaching that 24, 25k, these kinds of levels right here that we have seen before. But like I said, after so many green days, after so much pumpage, I do think that a little bit of a retrace is due. But like I said, everything also kind of really stands and falls with this DXY. But if we somehow find the strength to kind of pump up again, and then also the S&P 500 bounces off the golden pocket, and we have the target reached from the rising wedge, we have this purple diagonal resistance line, we have the value area high, we have the value area low, we have the support and resistance flips, we are overbought. It just all comes together, becomes stronger and stronger. And remember, we also said that this top right here at 25,200-ish would be the top. We also completely nailed that, so very, very beautiful. Now, important news. We have CPI data coming out today. That is consumer price index. That's the inflation. Right now futures are slightly higher, also approaching that 4,165 futures right now at 4,150-ish. So that is slightly off that golden pocket. Something that I think personally will happen is that the CPI data is better than expected. Why? Because oil is an important factor. I already told you multiple times. Now for 3 months in a row, oil has come down. In the month of June, we went 8% lower. Month of July, 7.2%. And the month of August, which the CPI data now comes out about, is 9.6% lower. And as expected, the CPI forecast will be 8.1% over the month of August. And so far you can see we had 9.1, that was kind of the peak. 8.5 was way better than expected. Everything pumped up, and now the expectation is 8.1. Personally, I think we are just going underneath that, something like 8 or 7.9, and then of course everything will pump again. That might be then the last pump. But I already said in multiple videos, don't get fooled just because we didn't have 1 or 2 months which is better. Here you see the inflation in the United States measured over multiple decades, and there you see it rising up in the 70s up to 11%. It came down all the way to just underneath 6%. Everyone thought that was over, yippee-ki-yay, we're going to 100k, and then boom, it started rising up again until 1980, 13.55%, and then it really came down. So just if we now see lower CPI data in the next couple of months, I do not really think that right away, therefore, the inflation has been conquered. We can go higher and blue skies ahead. There's still a lot of uncertainty, so be careful for the broader picture. We might get lower inflation in the next couple of months, and then halfway 2023 it just starts rising again. And we got inflation all over again. The Fed needs to start rising interest rates again. The stock markets are going down. Crypto's going down, etc., etc. Just one more thing that I want to tell you is that another good reason why we could go lower, and that actually then kind of closes off right away everything, is that let's say we are having better data than expected. BTC will go higher, somewhere around these levels, maybe spike higher, then going lower, and then maybe tomorrow or the day after the price goes lower because we reach all these targets, but also because next week the central bank in the United States will most likely rise the interest rates again. If I'm not mistaken, that's on a Wednesday. And usually you see stock prices or commodities selling off towards that event. And therefore I think that is also a great reason why this could be going down. We have the ETH merge tomorrow. Everyone is wanking off over it. Oh my god, it's going to change everything. Yada yada yada. I absolutely believe it's a sell the news event. We started with all these kinds of events that everyone's saying, oh, it's going to change the crypto market, oh, and they spamming Twitter on it. It's very annoying and immature. That I think that is another reason for us to go down. So like I said, for me, it just builds up right now a tremendous case for us to go lower again, to test these lows, also because this move was quite fast up. We are overbought, like I said. So for me, this would make a lot of sense if at or around 23,000 we are going lower again, and therefore creating this very big lower high, and then we are dumping down, and no one really expects that. They think, oh, it might be a small dump before we're going higher, and then that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, and you see this boom, 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 and eventually whoop, and we are going lower than 17k. That's of course what I'm hoping for. I also got to be honest, I also was hoping that we would break the 17k when we're here. That didn't happen, but there's still enough time to go. We are not even in for a year in this bear market. Not even. It's much lower, much shorter, and therefore I think, like, you know, everyone's just too optimistic and still thinking that was it here, and we're going higher from here. I think it's just way too soon. We still have weeks and months ahead of sideways action, of fake bumps, extreme dumps again, just really to crush that sentiment in the next couple months. And also, usually, like I said, Bitcoin is trading together with the S&P, and the dollar index is in the macro still rallying. S&P is still in a downturn as long as the central bank in the United States keep rising the interest rates, because then money is flowing out of stocks into other assets like hard commodities, or maybe into bonds or cash, because saving suddenly becomes interesting again when they start rising the interest rates. So therefore you see a rotation in the money flow, and therefore I think there's still a very strong base on the macro that we still have a lot of downturn to go for Bitcoin and for stocks. Now, very important, news of the CPI data comes out 1 hour before New York open, 8:30 in the morning New York time. Very important. So we see then most likely a lot of volatility the hour before, and then when New York opens, the stock will start reacting, and it probably also go up again. If the CPI data is much worse than expected, the opposite will happen. Everything will sell off, and then maybe we're getting our downturn already today. Like I said, I am prepared for both scenarios, but under intermediate terms, so the next couple of days and weeks, I am hoping, I am thinking we are seeing more downturn, and we can aim for lower. That for me would make a lot of sense. You hear it here first. Now, if you like this kind of content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. As always, update you there multiple times a day. See you guys very soon again. Be very careful with your trading. Thank you so much. Bye bye.